Hello all, welcome back to our channel. If you didn't know, March is Women's History Month. So this month, we're going to be talking about some of the incredible women of history and how they got us to where we are today. Starting with an incredible woman, without whom we would not have Jurassic Park. Have you ever wondered how scientists discovered the secret to life, DNA? Well, one of the main contributors to that discovery and the advancements of science as a whole was Rosalind Franklin. Franklin was born in 1920 London and knew from a young age that she was interested in science. She had a great intellect and loved debating about politics, justice, and of course, the topics of science. After enrolling in the Women's College of Cambridge University, she decided to major in chemistry, which would ultimately lead her to a multitude of discoveries. At this time, Great Britain was in the boom of the Industrial Revolution and World War II, so the chemistry of coal and other fuels were important to the economy. Working under men, she often found her ideas and work being disregarded or overlooked. Despite these challenges, she graduated in 1941 with her bachelor's degree, even though women, by and large, couldn't receive a diploma until 1948. And she set her sights on earning a PhD in physical chemistry. Throughout earning her doctorate degree, Rosalind Franklin closely studied the techniques for identifying and imaging the structures of atoms. Not only was this work crucial for her primary research in coal, but her experimenting eventually led her to studying living things, how atoms in our bodies work together to form a human system. Now, Dr. Franklin accepted a position to research the structure of DNA at King's College. DNA, also known as deoxyribonucleic acid, contains the information our cells need to reproduce and perform their duties. Every living thing has DNA, from humans to animals to the smallest of bacteria. There was very little known about DNA when Franklin was assigned to study it. And then one day, working in the lab, she decided to apply her previous skills in using X-rays to take images of DNA fibers. From this experiment came photograph 51, which depicted DNA with a double helix structure. It took over 100 hours of X-ray exposure to the fibers to reveal any of this. A fellow colleague at King's College, Maurice Wilkins, understood the importance of her discovery, however, dismissed Franklin's right to the discovery, often making comments about her gender as inferior to the field of science. Because of this, Wilkins and Franklin clashed pretty regularly. Eventually, Wilkins would go so far as to share photograph 51 with competing researchers James Watson and Francis Crick. Rosalind Franklin had no idea her research was shared with her biggest competitors in the field without her permission. I have words on the subject, but for now we'll just go with rude. This infamous photo solidified Watson and Crick's theory on DNA structure. After they released their research findings, Watson, Crick, and Wilkins won the 1962 Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine. No credit was given to photograph 51 or Dr. Rosalind Franklin. When she eventually moved to a different job studying the structure of viruses, she faced an unsupportive workplace again due to being a woman. Franklin had to constantly fight for equipment, funding, status, and pay, even though she was one of the leading scientists in her field at the time. Franklin always stood up for herself and advocated for the advancement of women in science. Franklin tragically passed away in 1958 due to ovarian cancer, but she's now credited with being one of the revolutionary scientists who discovered the secret to life, DNA. After this discovery, new fields of science were established, like molecular biology and genetics. In addition, the world of public health has been transformed by our understanding of DNA. Vaccines, cancer treatments, and how we look at disease processes all stem from Dr. Rosalind Franklin and her amazing contributions to the field of science. In my view, all that is necessary for faith is the belief that by doing our best, we shall succeed in our aims, the improvement of mankind. Science and everyday life cannot and should not be separated. Dr. Rosalind Franklin. Until next time.